out the reason in style. Hello, and you have come to Hot New. Today we will update the latest news to you, and you will never forget these 5 magical Goodwood Revival moments. What's there to say about the Goodwood Revival that hasn't been said before? Simply put, it's the best show on earth. And if you don't believe us, perhaps these unforgettable moments from the event will bring you round. The Goodwood Revival is so much more than just motor racing. It's the Tazio Nuvolari look-alike smoking a cigar he bought from a vintage pram, the dull drone of the Spitfire and P-51 Mustang circling overhead on their dawn patrol, the rockabills swinging down Gasoline Alley, and the heady smell of castrol that laces the fresh late summer air. Previous. Next. Magazine, cars. We'll never forget these 5 magical Goodwood Revival moments. September 7, 2018. What's there to say about the Goodwood Revival that hasn't been said before? Simply put, it's the best show on earth. And if you don't believe us, perhaps these unforgettable moments from the event will bring you round. The Goodwood Revival is so much more than just motor racing. It's the Tazio Nuvolari look-alike smoking a cigar he bought from a vintage pram, the dull drone of the Spitfire and P-51 Mustang circling overhead on their dawn patrol, the rockabills swinging down Gasoline Alley, and the heady smell of castrol that laces the fresh late summer air. Though it's grown exponentially, the event retains its core essence, its magic, if you will, and never fails to pluck you from reality and into a fantasy world filled with intricate details, authentic sets, and in-character actors, if only for a day or two. With the 20th edition kicking off today, hopefully beneath clear blue skies, we're getting in the spirit of things and looking back at some of our personal favorite revival moments. No mean feat, let us tell you. Your period outfit's been months in the planning, the fever's pitched, and it's time to round out the reason in style. Only someone with as much power of persuasion as the Duke of Richmond could pull this one off. Back in 2015, 50 years after Carroll Shelby knocked Ferrari off its perch and won the World Sports Car Championship, all 6 Cobra Daytona Coupes were assembled for the first, and probably only, time in history. In a typically Goodwood moment, Ulsch's grandson Aaron was first in line for an autograph from the car's designer Pete Brock and period team drivers Jack Sears and Alan Grant. We had to page the real world when Aaron, dressed and acting as his grandfather, closed a speech with Ferrari's "Ass is Mine." A new addition to the entry list for 2016 was the Kinrara Trophy, a 1-hour, 2-driver race for pre-1962 closed-cockpit GT cars, held at dusk on Friday evening. And what a spectacular race it turned out to be! With headlights ablaze, the braying pack of Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbases, Jaguar E-types, and Aston Martin DB4s fought tooth and nail throughout, the ultimate victory going to classic driver-dealer Joe Macari and 9-time Le Mans winner Tom Christensen. The latter's late charge to snatch the winner's cigar was a sheer privilege to watch. Racing drivers never lose their steely determination, daring skill, and competitive flair, or do they? One of our favorite moments at last year's revival was spent sat down with 3 certified racing legends, Alain de Cadenet, Derek Bell, and Jochen Mass. Aside from the banter and tales too risque to tell here, they spoke of how they have nothing to prove when they climb back behind the wheel today. Oh, and how the Ferrari 250 GTO is the best car to drive around Goodwood. "I've driven 3 here at Goodwood," recalled Bell. "And while you're never going to feature much, it's just the most beautiful car to drive, in the wet or the dry, with a heady dose of hydrocarbons in the air and the glorious sunshine beating down. You really could have confused the Goodwood Revival paddock in 2014 from Monza in 1954. Built to house a stunning display of Maserati 250 FS in the beautiful Monoposto's 60th year, the magical set was the brainchild of Peter Russell and was an entire year in the making. "It's really just a backdrop," Russell told us modestly. The cars are the stars, so this puts them in some theatrical context, as opposed to just an anonymous garage. If only we could have sat on top beneath the parasols, sipping a Chianti and watching the revival unfold. Last year, we had the unrepeatable opportunity to ride shotgun in the sole surviving Acura Ecos Jaguar XK120 in a cavalcade of the legendary Scottish privateer team's cars. With a quintet of D-types ahead and a selection of C-types behind, all resplendent in flag metallic blue, the experience was a sensory overload. As pinch-me moments go, roaming the grid full of Ecos cars, brushing shoulders with the likes of Jackie Stewart and Dario Franchitti as the bagpipes sounded, was one we don't expect to be bettered anytime soon. This is the information we have updated to send to you. If you find or click like, share the video and do not forget to subscribe to the channel to receive the latest from us. Happy